Hey YouTube, welcome to the Crime Snoop channel, where you get your daily dose of solved crimes, unsolved crimes, celebrity crime, crimes of passion, and just downright despicable crimes. Okay, now ever since the pandemic began, there has been debates, conversations, and even civil uproars about wearing a mask. Some have made it political, while others have insisted it's about public safety. Now, although this story isn't so much about which side of the argument you're on, no, this is about privilege and entitlement. Before getting into the story, since this is my platform, I will render my opinion on the debate on whether to wear a mask or not to wear a mask. I want to start off by saying there's a law that went into effect that said everyone riding in an automobile must wear a seatbelt. And then there's another law that says everyone riding on a motorcycle must wear a helmet. Mind you, these two laws are only to protect the people in the automobile and on the motorcycle. They are not to protect the community at large. So when this horrible pandemic struck and began killing and infecting millions of people nationally, the recommendation from the CDC was that we should all be wearing face coverings when we come in close proximity of others. Many municipalities and businesses heeded to this recommendation and required individuals entering their locations to wear face coverings to protect not just themselves, but the community at large. Now, I agree, they can be annoying to wear, but a little annoyance is worth it if it saves lives. Okay, y'all, let's talk about this story. Meet Gary Brummett, 81 years old, and Walter Wayne Brown Jr., 53-year-old, both out of the great state of Florida. They have both been accused of allegedly posing as U.S. Marshals to avoid wearing masks. This all occurred at the Wyndham Resort in Florida. Let's begin the story with Mr. Walter Wayne Brown. He walks into the resort to check in without wearing a mask, and the front door staff hands him a mask and asks him to wear it. But he refused. Mr. Brown, he came into that resort already with the intention not to wear a face mask. When he's asked to put the face mask on, he allegedly pulled out this laminated card which said in big bold letters, "Face Mask Exempt Notice." And then it stated that I am exempt from any ordinance requiring face mask uses in public. Wearing a face mask poses a mental and or physical risk to me. Under the American with Disabilities Act, he didn't add in American with Disabilities Act to his. I am not required to disclose my condition to you. Okay, this is so laughable. Someone would actually go through the trouble of laminating a fake exemption card, all to avoid wearing a mask? It doesn't stop there, okay? Mr. Brown allegedly also told his staff that he was a U.S. Marshal and he didn't have to wear a mask. Mr. Brown. Now we get to his partner, Gary Brummett. Mr. Brummett was asked to wear a face mask by a resort employee when he was seen in the lobby getting coffee, and just like Mr. Brown, he refused. He allegedly had his get out of jail free card too. He pulled out the laminated exemption card that said he didn't have to wear a mask. He allegedly also pointed to his badge and told the staff, "Do you know what this means? I'm a U.S. Marshal and can have you arrested if you force me to wear a mask." I cannot believe Mr. Brummett, an 81-year-old man, is allegedly playing these kinds of games to avoid a face mask. They walked around that resort for 2 days, maskless, pretending to be U.S. Marshals. Eventually, the manager contacted the authorities to inquire whether or not law enforcement was exempt from wearing masks. The gig was up when the real authorities showed up and found the two men dining together wearing authentic-looking U.S. Marshal badges on their belts. They were taken into custody and charged with impersonating a federal officer. Okay, as a side note, the DOJ has debunked the idea that there is such a thing as a legitimate mask exempt card. So if you were thinking about trying to get one or make your own, don't do it. Now, I said at the beginning of the video that this story was about entitlement and privilege. So somewhere along the line in these two men's lives, they learned and believed that law enforcement is beyond the law or beyond adhering to rules. So much so that they got fake badges and pretended to be law enforcement. For what? Also, they could behave how they wanted to without any regard for anyone else. Alright, fam, as always, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Smash that like button. You know I'm off to do more snooping.